So it's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
insane. I'm really at Monument Park right now.
Hmm.
Like, it's no better feeling than that.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Slugger. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, I am joined by my guy Kyle Fields, a sportscasting student at Full Sail University. We talked baseball, fandom, our play backgrounds, and got into some real discussions too. And trust me, once you hear who Kyle roots for, you'll understand why this conversation was one you don't want to miss.
Now he's a big Knicks fan, just like me, and unfortunately a Yankees fan and a Giants fan. But the Giants beat my team twice, so in the Super Bowl, my Patriots. So Kyle, I think we have beef.
Thank goodness for David Tyree, huh? And the helmet
Yeah,
catch,
right.
man. Oh man.
Yeah, right. that was lucky. Let's be
It
real.
was a completely broken play and it was a miracle. It was awesome.
But
So
you
we
guys
have
won.
that.
Yeah, I can't say nothing because you guys won fair and square. That's it.
Yeah, it's a lot
But
rougher these days, that's for sure. But
yeah, it has been. But that's the nature of sports. It was rough for a little bit for my Patriots too. But now we starting to climb back in. Thank God for the emergence of Drake May.
God, he had a year, huh?
Yeah, he did. He's
Yeah.
up there for the MVP conversation, and it's gonna be interesting. The playoffs are definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for all the people who's wondering, you're from Montana, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm
How?
from Northwest Montana, way up there.
Yeah, yeah. How the heck do you become a Yankee fan of all teams? I mean, not that obviously the Yankees are the most storied franchise in MLB, but you're from Montana. You're nowhere close to New York. You're not
I've
supposed to be a
been
Yankee fan.
I've been getting this question my entire life, even as like a kindergartner. It's like why are you a Yankees fan? Like it's like you must be a bandwagon, you must not know baseball, whatever. Like people actually would say this to me, and it's like, dude, no, my old man, my old dad, he's from Connecticut, right there in the
Mhm.
backyard, so he grew up
Tri-state
a
area, baby.
diehard Yankees fan, which is funny because half my family is Red Sox. I got a grandma who's a Red Sox fan. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
it's
I could have
kind of
only
funny.
imagined how it gets when the Red Sox are playing the Yankees and you guys are watching
Oh,
the game together. It probably
yeah,
gets
this
pretty
last wild
intense.
card series was awesome for us anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No,
yeah,
I mean
it's
that would
funny
be
that
pretty
part of
interesting.
New England how it can get split up either way, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you got all we're so close to each other. You got Massachusetts, you got the Connecticut, New York,
Oh yeah.
Jersey, Philadelphia. I mean, the whole Pennsylvania. So it's all interconnected. At the end of the day, we
Hmm.
all diehard fans. We root for our teams passionately.
That's right. Yeah, go
Yeah,
Huskies,
it gets
right?
pretty intense. Yeah, Yukon Huskies, baby.
That's
Yeah,
right.
let's go. But man, me with so I'm a Met fan. You're a Yankee fan, man. I mean, it's been a rough offseason for both of us, man. Especially me, but it's been a little rough for you guys too. How you feeling about it?
I'm feeling bored. Like I don't like just to put it
Yeah.
simply, it's like I saw today that both teams actually made a couple of transactions claiming a few players off of waivers and
That doesn't
that's not
count.
it's not nothing but it's not really what you want to see and I know that this is a business and you can't just sign big names
Yeah.
like that you got to bargain with them but it's like so we got to get something cooking.
No, you are 100% right. For a long time, the MLB offseason has always been the worst offseason for me because you know how it is basketball. The day the off season hits, you got 10 moves, 11 moves being happen. You got the NFL a day or two signing trades, draft. Everything goes at a rapid pace with every other major sport, even hockey too, for that matter. But the MLB is just the offseason it drags, man. It's like slow motion. It's an eternity. So it's rough, man. I mean, as me as this content creator and just hopefully future sportscaster and a big diehard baseball fan, it's rough to watch, man. And I mean, I can only imagine. So, how you probably feeling about it?
I agree. I think part of it is just because baseball is such a long season, and that's what I would
Mhm.
like to tell myself and believe. But hockey is just as I would say just as long as if you look at it from they start late in the fall and they'll play
Yeah,
almost in the summer. So it's like
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
late
You're right.
season for them
88
too.
games
But
too.
like you mentioned, they seem to have a lot more big transactions between teams earlier in the off season and even in the middle. I think from a New York perspective, it's extremely slow. I think a lot of clubs could say otherwise, re-signing guys and whatever. Um, I'm not mad about, a guy like Trent Grisham accepting the club option, but it's like, golly, that's a lot of money. And that was really early on.
Million is a lot for a guy like Trent Grisham. And nothing against Trent Grisham. The thing is, though, yeah, a lot of Yankee fans are going to get on me for this, but I feel like last year was a fluke because if you look at his career, and there's nothing in that nothing tells me that he didn't turn the tables. Just like for me, it's just if you look at his career trajectory, and every player for that matter has that one specific year where it's like, this is my career year. You can't get me out. I've hit my stride. But I feel like last year was that year for Trent Grisham. I feel like you dish out a contract like that to somebody who's proven, that he can do this consistently. And we don't see that from Trent Grisham. Last year was an amazing year for him. I'm not taking anything away from him, but
No.
he's not. I highly doubt that, and he's only getting older. I doubt he's gonna repeat what he did last year.
It just seems like they pulled the trigger on that deal pretty quick. The
Yeah.
Yankees did. And it's like,
Mhm.
why wouldn't Trent Grisham accept that offer? You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame him. And he's a great player. Like
No,
I'm
100%.
not trying to downplay Trent Grisham. I'm very happy to
Mhm.
have him back, especially with the way the rest of the outfield is looking for us at this current moment. But
Yeah.
it just seemed like they really rushed into that. And it was, I don't know. I'm not saying it's the reason everything
Yeah.
is taking so long now, but it seemed off. It's not a very Steinbrenner or Cashman thing to do. To just I don't know. It was weird.
This you got to remember. This is a different regime, though. It's not the same old Steibeners.
Yeah.
George would have made all sorts of transactions already. It's a totally different story. Howell is more reserved. He's don't get me wrong. He's still making moves. His payroll's still always top three in baseball, but he's just not his father. And as much as I love this, but if his father is still alive, there's no shot in hell that Juan Soto leaves the New York Yankees to go to the New York Mets. There's no shot it happens. But I'm happy it's not George running the show anymore, and we have a chance to sign Juan Soto.
Man, I really thought, it's all history now, but boy, I really thought he was coming back.
I
Like now that
know.
it's all said and done,
Yeah.
I can safely say I was convinced he wanted to come back to the Yankees. I was shocked. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
He
I was like,
looked
all right.
he looks so happy as a Yankee. That's the thing too for me. It looked like he had a great relationship with Judge. He had his best season. You have the short Porsche. And the thing is too, I mean, you have the two best sluggers in baseball. And I, as much as I'm not a Yankee fan, but I actually love seeing those two. That tandem of Juan Soto, the lefty slugger, patient at the plate. He has that swag, and then you have Judge right behind him. Soto's gonna get on base, high on base percentage. He gets on base, and Judge mashes a 2-run bomb. There's that's poetry right there. There's nothing better than that. So I did not think that we were gonna be able to see Juan Soto take the RFK Bridge over to Citi Field, to go over this with the polar bear. It was not even a Met no more.
Man, you're telling me, and I thought, oh, dude. Yeah, you're right, and I don't know. I can't. I don't know. I don't personally know these guys, obviously, but it's like
Mhm.
I can't help but feel like Soto wanted his own club, so to speak. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
We know Judges has that. That's the Bronx is his. That's his yard,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
it's like I don't know if that's what it was, but maybe he wanted to go do that in Queens. And it's like, can you blame a guy of his talent also? Like, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Let's be real. I don't even think it's that. I mean, maybe part of it, he considered, but It's more so money. Let's be real. All players want the money.
Oh yeah.
The Mets threw the money at him, and people are saying that Soto chose $5 million over the Yankees. It's more than $5 million. The contract goes all the way up to $805 million. Soto knew what he was doing. He gets all these perks, all these incentives. So probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. And he also, a lot of Yankee fans like to say he owed it to us to come back to the Bronx, and I don't know. It was one season. No matter how good that one season may have been, it's not like he had some sort of allegiance to the Yankees. It's not
No,
like we
100%.
drafted him. It's not like he had his first years in the pinstripes. So I see both sides of it still. Ah, man, I'd like to have him back in the lineup. I could say things that would make me, not want him. Like, I don't think his defense is that great, but that's not exactly a hot take either. That's something
Yeah.
teams live with because of the type of hitter that he is. So,
Oh yeah, no, 100%. You think the Mets didn't know going into it that Soto was not the greatest defender? Of course they knew that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they knew that. But his bat is so good, it's worth the risk.
He's a generational hitter,
Yes, 100%. And I can't wait for the next 14 years. The tail end of the contract is going to be miserable, but I can't wait to see it.
If they both didn't do anything right now, the Subway Series would actually be very hilarious to watch in May, late June. If we we got to do something. You got all of our good pitchers now. We got everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still give the edge to you guys. You guys still have the pitching staff. You guys still have Max Fried, Cole coming back, Rodon still there. Cam Slitler, I think, will be the next big thing. And then you have Will Warren. So you guys still have the edge on us with your pitching staff, your starting rotation. And offensively, I give you the edge also. Man, we got nothing.
Yeah.
But we both are vying for Cody Bellinger's services. I mean, how do you feel about that? Where do you think he ends up?
I really don't know at this point because I know the Mets are super capable of meeting his demands, and I don't see if Cody Bellinger is like any Major League Baseball player, around his age, he wants some security. He wants to know he's going to get paid towards the end of his career. Not to say that he's already probably set up, but if the Mets meet his contract demands, I don't see why he wouldn't do that. But 7 years is a long time at this point in Bellinger's career.
Right. No. The thing is, so for me, I saw the report. Both him and Tucker want 7 years, $400 million. That's ridiculous, man. I mean, Juan Soto set that market, obviously, right? But everybody's not Juan Soto. That's what you got to understand. Yeah, I give Cody Bellinger the edge. Oh, well, he's a way better defender than Juan Soto, but he's offensively, it's not even that close. So, come on, man. And Juan Soto was fortunate enough to be 26 years old at the time. You're 30 years old, dude. You're not getting 7 years.
No.
Come on, let's be real. But also, the thing is, though, too, with Bellinger, that market is going to be super interesting because you say that you don't see him come. I mean, not that you don't see him come back to the Yankees, but you can see him going to the Mets. I don't see it. I don't see it happening because I'm really trying to get a grasp of where is our GM going, the direction that our GM is trying to take.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that he broke up our core. And he's trying to get the best value in return for all players. I understand that aspect of it, but what the moves that he's made so far, it's like I don't see a clear path. I don't see a direction of where he's heading to this offseason. So I highly doubt he'll dish out 5 years to Cody Bellinger.
I understand.
Yeah. The only way I can see Bellinger going to the Mets, and I truly believe that it's still realistic. Because I believe at the end of the day, nobody's going to pay Bellinger 7 years, $400 million. Let's be realistic. But I can see where at the end Bellinger has to come down to earth a little bit and be like, okay, I'm not going to get the $400 million for 7 years. So I'm going to have to be more realistic, and maybe I might get 4 years, 5 years max. And he obviously has to drop his price tag because there's no way the Mets are signing him for $400 million. The Yankees aren't either. But I'm sure you guys would do whatever it takes to retain him, unless the Mets outbid the Yankees again this time.
I think because the Yankees have already put two different offers on the table for him and Boris, so I like our chances of when it comes down to pitchers and catchers report, and then inevitably everybody else is going to show up to camp. It's going to happen before everyone gets to camp, so hopefully they can come to an agreement around the time we start seeing pitchers and catchers show up.
At least a little bit before spring training, because
Yeah.
when if you wait so much, Bellinger's not going to be ready. He has to find a home before a certain time, because
Hmm.
obviously for hitters it doesn't take as long to get warmed up like pitchers, but still you prefer to get a home, to find yourself a home as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean you would definitely prefer that. At this point in the off season, like these guys are getting ready, like they're working out on their own, but it's still nice to
No,
just
100%,
when
100%.
did you think you would think it's just nice to get that out of the way, right? Get
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
conscious.
saying. That's what I'm
Just
saying.
know
Yeah,
you can show up to camp with your team, know who you're going to play with. I don't
yeah,
know.
I couldn't
I'm not a
agree.
major league player, so I wouldn't know, but that's what you would think, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, we're baseball players, though. We know how it is. You
That's
played when you
right.
were
Yeah.
younger, and I still play to this day. So I prefer to find a team as soon as possible, get to know my teammates, build that chemistry,
Hmm.
and then also train with the team. There's nothing better than training with your teammates, having them motivate you, you motivating them. So if I'm a player, I'd rather get the contract out the way, not have to worry about it anymore
Right.
for a
Right.
little bit, and start training with my teammates, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but so with the Cody Bellinger thing, I'm speculating that the Yankees are truly waiting for an answer for Cody Bellinger, because you guys still have the burden of having Jason Dominguez on the team. And why I say it's a burden is because at this point Dominguez is really taking up space on the roster, because at the end of the season he wasn't really playing often, and obviously we know about his defensive woes at left field. But he's still young. He's still developing, and there's no doubt in my mind he's probably going to be this masher as a hitter. But you think that if you guys sign Bellinger, you guys are going to get rid of Dominguez? You're going to ship him off in a trade or something?
It's really tough to say because just based off last season and the season that Bellinger had, obviously everybody wants him to come back. And Dominguez has shown plenty of flashes of what he can be. We've seen it before. We know it's in there. He just hasn't had a consistent performance of doing so, right? So, you know, you look at it from two different ways. Are we clogging up the outfield by re-signing a guy like Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker? Or are we better off letting our younger guys play, like a Jason Dominguez, or in the future, a Spencer Jones type of guy? You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends. I think the Yankees, with the way that they're moving in free agency and statements that Cashman has said earlier this offseason, like they want to move more towards utility guys and small ball, and I feel like they might hang on to the young kids and let them play. I don't know. It
But if the offer's on the table for Bellinger, you still think that you hold on to Dominguez? Because all you're doing at that point is hindering his progress. That's all I see. And you
I
still have
agree.
Trent Grisham. Still have Trent Grisham. You still have Judge. Judge is going to play. I would assume the bulk of right field. Probably make some time in at DH, but you still have Stanton. That's
Yeah, I
another
think they're gonna
problem.
definitely try and keep Judge and right as much as
Yeah,
possible. We know he can play
yeah,
center, but it's a
yeah.
tougher on the
You prefer,
body.
yeah, you prefer to, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Keep some mileage off his legs, because you know how it
Yep.
is with Judge. Judge is already in injury prone, so I prefer
Hmm.
to keep him in right field. With a
Don't let
guy
him
like
get
Trent
hurt.
Grisham, who, yeah, exactly, who covers a lot of ground already. So yeah, with that though, but yeah, I think going back to Dominguez, I think you only going to hinder his progress if you just letting him sitting on the roster just doing nothing.
I agree. I as much as it really just I almost don't want to say it, but I do think they should trade him while they can still get some value from him.
Yeah,
I know he was playing in the Mexican leagues this summer, or excuse me, this winter. and that was exciting to hear about at first. He was gonna work on hitting from the right side of the plate and his defense, two things that needed to be addressed. And it's going. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going great, but it's definitely going. So I don't know. I think it might just make sense to trade him as much as a guy like me may not want to as a fan, you know?
I understand what you're talking about perfectly because right now we are going through this phase where we're getting rid of all of our franchise players, guys we were emotionally attached to. It's tough to see them go, but not that I agree personally, but sometimes you got to make moves for the betterment of the team, and if that is the move to make for your future, then you go out and make the moves. So you got to. It's all the name of the game is improving and recycling players, trying to get better and be perennial winners.
And if they really like Jason Dominguez that much, they could trade Spencer Jones. He's
Yeah.
a top outfield prospect, and I'm
Mhm.
sure a lot of teams would like to sign him or trade for him.
100%.
Not
100%.
saying
He's
I
still
want to
very
trade
young.
Spencer Jones,
Yeah.
but
No,
they would be the
I
right
understand what you're talking
owners.
about. Yeah, from
Yeah.
a baseball perspective, it's like, okay, we have these guys there, and we have to pick and choose who we got to get rid of and who's going to still be on the roster. I mean, even with the Mets right now, we're going through this too, with Mauricio, with Vientos, and Beatty. For us right now, we just got Simeon at second base, so that means Beatty's not going to be playing much second base, and
Mm.
then we have Vientos and Mauricio all on the same roster, competing for the same spot. They all competing to play third base. For me right now, I'm more leaning towards Brett Beatty to be my everyday third baseman. I believe actually the manager of the Mets came out and said Brett Beatty will be the starting third baseman, which I think he's earned so far. But then yeah, you have Mauricio, and then you still have Vientos, and I'm not a huge fan of Vientos only because his defense is so shaky at third base, and also he seems to be a streaky hitter. And in this day and age, you prefer to have a more consistent kind of bat.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. But with our move, so we have signed, we have the last three closers of your roster from the last couple of years. Now we have Clay Holmes, Luke
Oh,
Weaver, and Devin Williams. And I don't know actually, I don't agree with pretty much all those moves.
no,
Clay
you
Holmes
don't?
as a starter, Clay Holmes as a starter, like that to me was ridiculous from the jump. I don't know how you feel about it, but when I saw Clay Holmes sign with the Mets originally, I was thinking, okay, Clay Holmes come to the Mets. I'm not a fan of him, but if he serves as a setup man for Edwin Diaz, okay, that's fine. Okay, we overpaid a little bit, I would have said, but okay, he could serve that role. But we talking about a guy who hadn't start a game since 2018. That was his first year coming up. And what made David Stearns think that was a brilliant idea to really go out there and say, okay, I'm going to turn a struggling closer into a starter? He got the stuff. The stuff is there. His numbers were not too bad too. Like if you compare his numbers with some of the league average, he was right around a little bit above average, maybe right around the average. But the problem is, especially in a rotation where we had no length from anybody, you add somebody who you already knew was not going to give you length. So I don't know what David Stearns was thinking with that move. What do you think about that move? From a Yankee fan perspective, also because you were probably thrilled that the Yankees got rid of Clay Holmes.
I was. Obviously, before that, Clay Holmes had his moments with the Yankees. I'm no stranger to that, but it was like clockwork. Towards the end of his time with the Yankees, it was like, oh man, oh, we're bringing in Clay Holmes. This is not good. Like I
Didn't you
remember
guys call
going
him like
to
cardiac Clay or something like that?
Cardiac Clay. Yeah.
I think
Yep.
I heard that nickname somewhere.
Yep. That caught on Twitter pretty quickly. That was good.
You
Oh
guys
man.
even had a
But
nickname for Devin Williams too. I forgot what it was, but yeah.
I must have missed that one. But I remember I was at a game in Seattle,
Mhm.
a Yankees game in Seattle, and they brought in Clay, and I was like, oh boy. It was actually the game that Julio got picked off a third. They had
Yeah.
that Wells and Jazz had that double play. That was pretty sweet. I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah.
that was a great game. But that was the same game. They brought in Clay, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Here we go.
I
Sure
know
enough.
all about that because the guy, we just got rid of, or not got rid of, but we didn't sign. Edwin Diaz was just like that in 2019, if
Oh,
not worse.
yeah.
Yeah, 20. I remember every time Edwin Diaz used to go out there, I'm like, I don't know what anyone sees in this guy. Like, this guy is so bad. He throws 100 miles per hour and he can't get a single out. And he's giving up home runs to guys like Kirk Suzuki, for crying out loud. Like, what are we doing? And there were times where Edwin Diaz was in the game, you already knew, okay, the game is over. He's gonna blow the game. And it got so bad to the point where, like, he cried in the locker room. They said, and Robinson Cano had to console him. I remember watching one game, he blew it, and Cano had to run over there and give him a hug and kind of like, embrace him because he had to comfort him a little bit, because as a teammate, you understand the pain he's going through when you go through stuff like that, and it's not a good feeling at all. She has, as a baseball player personally, I know, and I'm sure you know about that. It's it sucks, but I remember that year. I mean, I felt the same way as you guys felt this past season with Devin Williams and with Clay Holmes when he was blowing as many games as he did for you guys.
Well, it was frustrating with Williams because I remember being so excited about that in the off season. I remember going to my old I remember going to work that day, and I was like, yes, we got our guy, we got Williams, we got him. And then those early season struggles, I was like, he's gonna work through this, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
And he just didn't. He was
he
was a complete liability. I'll say it. I'll put it like that. So.
Not towards the end though. Towards the end, he had a little nice 2-month run at the end of the season.
He brought it back. It was, it's just, yeah, he brought it back, but it was just, I couldn't. It was like, oh boy, here we go. Hang on.
Yeah. I still wouldn't necessarily say he deserved that $13 million contract. His AAV is $13 million for 3 years. I don't think he still deserved that. I personally wouldn't dish that kind of contract out. But when Williams signed originally, though, I wasn't opposed to it, because I thought we were re-signing Edwin Diaz. Everything in my mind told me Edwin Diaz is coming back to the Mets. Yeah. There's no way he's going to leave the Mets. And I was like, okay, we're going to have, just like I thought about Clay Holmes, I thought we were going to have Devin Williams as our setup man, and you take some pressure off of him after the disastrous year he had last year. And then you have Diaz. That's not a bad tandem at all. Devin Williams, in my mind, he could regain his form.
How surprised were you when Pete signed with Baltimore?
Oh man, let's not even get into that one. No. Honestly, that
Did
was
you see that coming?
No. It's crazy because in the back of my mind, I knew there was a possibility. For me, it was like Diaz just signed with the Dodgers, and then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Stearns saved some money from the Diaz contract, so we're gonna go out and sign our franchise player, the guy who literally just broke within this past season Darryl Strawberry's home run franchise record. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking, and he would have. I mean, he broke it, but he would have shattered it. It wouldn't even be close. Nobody was gonna be competing for that title had Alonso stayed, right? But so Edwin Diaz signed. I'm like the next day. I put out a video with Fuego, my podcast partner, the day before, and we were both venting our frustration about the Diaz signing. And I remember vividly he mentioned that he sent a warning towards David Stearns. He was like, "Man, you better not let Edwin Diaz walk. Better not let Edwin Diaz walk, because I promise you, you're gonna lose the fan base." Yeah, not Edwin Diaz, Pete Alonso. I'm sorry, Pete. You better not let Pete Alonso walk, because you're gonna lose the fan base. You better not. And so I remember, and I'm thinking, okay, so he is gonna resign Pete Alonso. So the next day, I remember I'm waking up, I'm walking to Wawa, and somebody broke the news in a group chat saying Alonso to the Orioles. I'm like, this got to be a joke. And he's a Yankee fan, so I was saying, I didn't take anything he said with credence.
Yeah, you
I took
thought
it
he
with
was
a grain of
messing with you.
salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was messing with the Met fans in the group chat, and I'm like, don't tell me this is real. But I'm getting anxious because I'm saying, obviously there's a possibility that this is real. So
Yeah.
as I always do, I sweaty palms and everything. I'm sweating. I'm like, that's no way this is real. I look, it says the heartbreaking thing, the thing you don't want to hear. Alonzo to the Orioles. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Look, that wasn't exactly good news for me either. Now it's our problem in the division.
It makes sense. You're right. You're right. I did. What's crazy? I did think about that after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, at least A, he's not going to the Dodgers. 2, he's not going to the Yankees. Also, he's signing with the Orioles, a division rival of yours. So I was saying, okay, he's not a Met anymore, but at least he's gonna kill you guys.
Dude, yeah.
He has a chance to
I mean, the AL
guys.
East, as of right now, it's like, okay, the Red Sox got better. Go down the list again. Okay. The Orioles just got better. Go down the list again. The Blue Jays got even better. And then you go down the list, and it's just us, the Yankees, and Tampa Bay, who Tampa Bay plays so good against us all the time.
Yeah, they're pesky
for
team.
no reason.
They swept us last year, so I know personally.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're tough. They're tough for us for some. It's just all through my life. For some reason, the Rays have always found ways to just beat us.
Let's backtrack though real quick. Who doesn't want to beat the Yankees?
I know, right?
You guys are like the Dodgers are now the modern team everybody hates. Now the Dodgers are the most hated team in America. But before the Dodgers were you guys. So who doesn't want to beat the Yankees? Everybody wants to beat the Yankees. Everybody hates that little dynasty you guys had in the 90s.
That's why everyone thought I was a bandwagon growing up. Because it's like, why are you a Yankees fan all the way out west? It's like, dude,
exactly.
But that's my team.
The Yankees have the biggest franchise and biggest fan club in baseball. Honestly, you guys have you guys expand throughout the country. And
oh man, I mean, everywhere I go down here in Florida, dude, it is Yankee fans everywhere.
Yeah,
or Yankees hats everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. But you have also a bunch of casuals. I know you're not a casual, but we have a bunch of casuals. Especially at Yankees, when you go to Yankee Stadium, it's so corporate. You have a bunch of casual fans there. It's a tourist place. So.
It's like someone called it like someone compared it to like the Toronto Maple Leafs, like during playoff games. It's just a bunch of suits in the building, no fans, no signs, no jerseys. Yeah.
I don't want to hate on you guys too. I think that Yankee Stadium needs a little bit more decorating.
I mean, the only thing I would change, because I love Yankee Stadium, obviously, but the facade, man, how it used to go all the way around the stadium, and then now they kind of stop it right here, so then you get the skyline. Man, they need to put the facade back. That's my only request. That's it. That's all they need to do, and it would look like the old stadium again.
Yeah.
Kind
of that nostalgia right there. You've been to the old stadium, right?
No, never. My dad's been. Both of my cousins have been. My uncles. A lot of people. I am the one. I never had the privilege of going to the old stadium, but I've been to the new one.
Oh, you've been to the new one. Fun fact: I played at the new stadium. So my high school championship. My high school championship was at the new stadium in 2019. We made it all the way to the championship. I couldn't wait to get there because I wanted that feeling. We all itch for that feeling to play Major League Baseball. Obviously, that's been my dream and still my dream to this day. Obviously, it's unrealistic, but it's like, okay, at least I get the chance to play at Yankee Stadium. My freshman year, we should have been there, but that's another story for another day. But my senior year, we lived the dream. That one game of playing at Yankee Stadium, the Yankee Stadium. As much as I'm not a Yankee fan, but it's like, okay, but it's still so iconic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've always wanted to do that. I remember. I graduated from a really small high school, but I remember like the bigger schools, like in Western Washington, like they would play their high school championships at T-Mobile Park. I used to be
Yeah.
Safeco Field. Now it's T-Mobile
Oh, in
Park.
Seattle. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's right. But they would go play their championships there on the Mariners field. And I always thought I was always so jealous. I was like, golly, that's cool.
That is cool. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's not a better experience than that. Honestly, there's not. It's just that feeling. Just getting to suit up and running on the field. We had to use the auxiliary locker room, not the actual locker room, but it's still that feel. It's still a nice locker room though. You still had the fridge with all Gatorades and water and everything, anything you wanted, and the nice carpets that smell, the good smell. So it was a nice locker room. I remember we split that locker room in half with the opposing team who were talking a lot of trash. but we ended up winning, by the way. So we got the last half. But
that's all that matters.
But yeah, that's true. That's true. But I remember just stepping on the field and running out to this thunderous ovation from the fan, and that was the first time in my life I've ever had a reception. Not me personally, but like the whole team we had a reception like that. And our high school was pretty dull in terms of baseball. Like our baseball team was always one of the best teams in the school, but for some odd reasons, people never showed up to our games. We didn't really have many fans. We were lucky to have one or two people, and most of the time, the people who were watching our game were parents. So like my dad used to come to some games, and other parents used to come around. But other than that, students didn't come out to our game like that. So it was so surreal, that experience, getting to go out there, run out to that vociferous crowd, and then getting to smell. You should know that feeling, that the fresh grass and the dirt, the flawless, immaculate. Yeah, it's hot out. It's just around June. The immaculate dirt, and I remember, it hit me that I'm down the left field. We had the third base dugout. I'm down the left field line, and the moment felt so real when I ran out to center field to get my little stretch in, and behind center field is Monument Park. So it's like that's insane. I'm really at Monument Park right now. Like, it's no better feeling than that. And I wish I could at that moment for sure.
We missed our opportunity to go into Monument Park by like 2 minutes. Like we were walking around. Yeah, we were walking around the stadium. Opening day, 2023, and they took the last group in and then shut the big door. And they're like, "That's the last group. Game's gonna start soon." And we're like,
"The cutoff."
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, there's always a next time. There's always a next time.
Hopefully, there's always a next time. I haven't been back since, so I gotta get back there.
Yeah. Have you been to Citi Field?
I have not been to Citi Field. I drove right past Citi Field on my way back and out of JFK. So
yeah, Citi Field is a pretty nice ballpark too. I'm not even not to be biased or anything. I think it's like a really pretty.
I mean, they put so much money into it. I mean, it really is an impressive stadium. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is, and they said it's similar to Citizens Bank Park. I've never been there. My dream is to visit all 30 MLB stadium. So far, I only have 2. So I got 28 to go. But my dream, I mean, if we end up being a sportscaster. If we end up being sportscasters, we could live that dream for sure.
Dude, we could go anywhere. Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
What two have you been to? Citi Field and what else?
Citi Field, Yankee Stadium. That's
Citi Field, Yankee Stadium. Nice. Hey, there you go. That's New York for you. So.
Yeah, that's New York. That's it. But
I've been to a handful.
Philadelphia. Oh, you have?
I've been to the Trop way back in the day.
The Trop is not too far from where I'm at right now. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And the Trop, Yankee Stadium, Safeco Field. Let's see, Fenway. That was a good one, and I think that's it. So that's 4. I've been to 4.
Fenway's there's a nice old school feel.
Oh, dude, Fenway. Yeah, look, hey, as gotta admit, that's a hell of a ballpark, Fenway Park. Hats off. It's pretty sweet.
I just heard. Yeah, the only flaw I heard with Fenway is that the seats are so tight.
I mean, yeah, they're pretty close.
Yeah, very confined.
I sat in the bleachers in center field, kind of like right in that middle section, like almost like smack dab the center of the bleachers.
Mhm.
And we were packed in there. It was the opening week against Baltimore. That was a crazy game too. Red Sox were down. Baltimore made a bunch of errors on defense. Tyler O'Neill walk-off home run. The place was going absolutely crazy. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's experience right there. And those are things those things could never be taken away from you.
No.
You always remember it. Yeah, something that'll be etched into your memory for a lifetime.
Mhm.
So that's why I live for those things. I live for sports, and I enjoy each and every moment as a fan getting to watch those things.
Especially now getting into sportscasting, I take every opportunity to go to any sort of event as a spectator, or if I can maybe make some
Right.
content there.
Yeah,
I
that's
went to a
right.
Knicks game earlier this year in Orlando.
Well, oh yeah, so did I. You were so I think we were at the same game, the one where we lost the
Yeah,
fourth
right
quarter.
before
The Magic
Thanksgiving.
started. Yes. It was the same game. I believe it was the
Oh
22nd of
man.
November, if I'm not mistaken. I was at that
Yeah.
very same game. I left the ballpark early, the arena early, and I I never hated the Magic. Obviously, they were a division rival, but or in the same we were in the same conference. But
Mm-hmm.
that day, oh my god, I had so much spite for the Magics
I
and their
was so
fans.
unhappy, to be
Yeah,
honest.
me too. I left the
Oh.
arena and I'm wearing my Knicks hat and then one fan passed by and said, "Oh, you got to take that off because we just beat you." And and then I remember even before I left the arena, we had some employees that I was saying, "Yeah, remember the week before they destroyed us in New York." And
Yeah.
an employee was saying, "Yo, we beat them here, we beat them then there, and we beat them here, we beat them there." And I'm like, shut up! Like,
I was seriously concerned because
yeah,
because then we were set to play them in the cup
yeah,
semis, I believe, and I was
yeah.
like, dude, not only is that the cup semis, but that's the season series. So I was like, they can't
We
sweep,
got
we
yeah,
can't get swept by the Magic in the regular
yeah.
season
No,
series.
actually, but we won the game before that. Remember, we beat them before the cup. There was a game before the cup game, and that was when you remember when Desmond Bain threw that ball at OG.
We did win that
That
game.
game,
You're
yeah,
right.
that was I
Yeah,
think that was at MSG. So that
that was
game
at the
happened before
Garden.
the cup game. So at the
Mm-hmm.
time, I was more relief when going into the cup game. Like, okay, we beat them once, we could do it again. But
True.
in my mind, when we lost that game though against them at their home field at the Kia Center, I was like, we'll see you guys in the playoffs. I hope to see you guys in the playoffs. I just want a piece of that. Like, I want revenge right there. So
Yeah.
it's like because I know we're the better team. I'm not going to take anything away from the Magic. They're a very good team. They're very physical. But
I
too
mean,
much.
dude, I gotta give it to them.
Yeah.
They've proved me wrong this year. They're solid. I think they're
No,
solid.
they're a good team. They're a good team
Yeah.
with Ben Caro and you got
When he comes back, they'll be
Wagner.
much better. Yeah, Wagner's been
Ben
playing
Caro.
excellent.
Oh, Wagner. Yeah, Wagner. Yeah, he unfortunately he got hurt. And then
Mm-hmm.
with Desmond Bain and all those guys, Jalen Suggs, they have they're a pretty solid team, man.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see them passing the first round, getting to the next round, and hopefully we'll see them, man, because we have some pretty
I
good
hope so.
matchups against them. Yeah. Let's shift back to baseball. The trade that happened the other day to the Cubs with Edward Cabrera.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? I feel like both teams should have been in on him, especially the Mets because of our lackluster rotation. But why do you think that is? Like, why do you think the Mets didn't pursue him, or the Yankees too?
I wish I had an answer for that because I thought he would be a great addition to certainly to the Yankees rotation, but also I mean the Mets need a starting pitcher too, and his contract is so team friendly because the way it sits now with Chicago, he's under team control through 2028, and I don't think he's getting more than 3.5, like just over 3.5 million. So it's very affordable for most organizations, you would think, right? For a young starting pitcher. So I wish I had an answer. I really thought he would have been a great get for the Yankees or the Mets. The
No,
Cubs
100%,
the Cubs
especially
are
the
lucky.
Mets.
Let's put
Yeah,
it that way. They
no,
got
they
that
are
was a good trade. Yeah.
very good trade. Very good trade. He's young, and he's still. I mean, he looks like he's only going to trend upwards. He's only going to get better. And I'm starting to realize that the trend is pitchers start to really improve in their 30s. You don't realize that, like they start throwing harder and they start getting better. Like Zach Wheeler, DeGrom. I mean, I don't know, naming Met players because that's the guys I can recall off the top of my head. But that's the trend. That's the trend in general, though. Pitchers they aging a lot better these days. Except the fact that a lot of them are getting Tommy John, but the ones who do stay healthy, they mostly hit their prime in their early 30s.
Mm-hmm. No, that's I think I heard a lot of that this season, that narrative right there, that these pitchers as they get older, they kind of understand how their body works now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as a young pitcher, exactly, you mature a little bit, you understand what you're supposed to be doing, I guess, or how your body works. Like as a young pitcher, you just want to get out there and let it rip,
You're
throw
right,
heat,
right. That's
throw
the
nasty
worst
stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place for that, but it's like you can't, it's hard on your body, obviously. So I think some guys, as they get older, even after they've had the surgery, they just figure it out. Something clicks up there, and they're like, okay, I know how this works. I know how I move, and I'm gonna get outs. I'm gonna hit my spots and get outs. So
that's what it's all about. Ultimately, it's not about blowing fastballs by everybody. Earlier, like you mentioned earlier in your career, you always try to, let me let it rip. I'm gonna just start trying to blow fastballs by everybody. Yeah. But first of all, that's gonna wear you out. That's one. Two, it leads to Tommy John, a lot of elbow problems right here, the UCL, and also the thing is though too, everybody has adjusted to the fastball. Every major leaguer can hit. Pretty much every major leaguer can hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. They can just close their eyes and they're gonna and hit it. But not, pitching is more about working smarter. It's more about being able, as you mentioned, hit the corners, hit my spots.
Yeah, it's chess up speeds.
There. Yeah, it's chess. Exactly. So yeah, it's nice to have that in your arsenal, that 100 miles per hour, like a Paul Skeens, but you got to be able to know how to work it into your other pitches. You got to be able to know how to use it, when to use it in the right spot. And that's what pitchers are starting to learn, like a Chapman. Chapman is really starting to learn how to hit corners, which is amazing to me that he's been playing baseball for God knows how long. And he didn't, it took him this year or this past season to discover that you have to hit corners and realize that his stuff plays well on the corner.
I don't even want to get into Chapman. That guy.
Yeah. But it's amazing though what pitchers are able to do these days, and see 97, 98 miles per hour sinkers, like that is ridiculous. Like
it's so ridiculous. And a reason, like a guy like Paul Skeens, like that 100+ mile an hour fastball works because his other pitches are also so good. It's just, the splinker he's got, the splitter sinker.
Like the hybrid.
What even is that? Like
making up stuff, man. Making up their own pitches. I've heard the churve, the slurve. We hear all types of pitch types and pitch.
I believe in the slurve. The slurve I feel like has been around.
Yeah.
But what's the one? The sweeper. I'm not a fan of that. Like, is that not just a slider?
Yeah.
You're
right. I mean, realistically, they're all very similar. Slurve is slightly different. I actually had a catcher not too long ago who told me that my slider is more of a slurve.
Yeah, you get more
I feel like my slider
like this.
Yeah. But my slider moves the way it wants to sometimes. So I don't know what to call it, but I know it's effective and it gets outs. But
because it's like if you're trying to hit a spot and you want to mirror or tunnel all your pitches, you'd think that well, this is a fastball and then this is a slider. So it's like, what's a sweeper? Please tell what does it do? That's not how.
Right.
I think they're the same pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's semantics. That's all it is. But speaking of flamethrowers, right? And I'm sure you heard this news with Tariq Skubal, the AL Cy Young winner, back-to-back years. Tariq Skubal and the Tigers did not reach an agreement in arbitration. So what do you think that means for the future?
Yeah, someone will pay him.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna pay him, and it's
Mets.
I think the Mets are right up there though. Like the Mets are gonna be up there with favorites to sign him.
Yeah.
Following his pending free agency. It's he's not a free agent yet, but people
Yeah.
are gonna go after him. And
No,
at this
100%.
point, at this point, if you're the Tigers and you can't meet his demands, what do? Do you hang on to him as long as you can? The AL Central, it's not the strongest division, right? So do you want to take that now, win with Scooble, or do you just see what you can get for him?
So that's going to be an interesting case right there. So with the Tigers, first of all, I don't see them trading him this year because they do have a chance to compete.
Yes.
They have a chance to compete. They are a good team. They were a good team last year.
Mm-hmm.
And, why would you want to trade a guy like Scooble? He's the best pitcher in baseball, or one of the best pitchers in baseball.
It's not far off from one of the best pitchers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold
probably
you
right behind Paul Skeens, if anything. But the thing is, it's crazy. And speaking of guys who are who age well, Tariq Skubal is one of those guys. But with them, and I understand what you were saying earlier with the trade. If you want to trade him, you can trade him early so you could get a ton in return.
Yeah. Here's prime Skubal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of teams are debating. A lot of teams are skeptical in terms of wanting to trade for a Tariq Skubal because there's a possibility he might not stay.
Mm-hmm.
So you want if you're gonna sign a Tariq Skubal, you want that insurance that he's gonna resign because you don't.
Yeah, you want to know he's coming back.
Yeah, exactly. You want that security. You want to make sure he's gonna be here. And a guy like Tariq Skubal is gonna demand a lot of money, and especially with Scott Boras as his agent. So you got to make sure you got the capital to do it. So that's why a lot of teams are really kind of like hesitant to make a move like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Tigers could also move some pieces around and, make some space, come up with some more money to give him,
So, get rid of a Javi Baez.
Nothing's impossible, So, but it's not. If I'm a Tigers fan, I'm not really. It's a little disheartening seeing that news,
Yeah. That's like Jacob deGrom leaving the Mets. That's a move at the time I understood it as much as I liked deGrom. But the guy was demanding like 5 years and he was not I didn't think he was gonna age well, and doctors projected that he wasn't going to age well. His elbow wasn't opening up, so but I mean he had an outstanding year this year.
Yeah.
So I wish we definitely could have used him, but I don't know what's gonna happen the next couple of years with him. But there's a possibility he come back to the Mets maybe on that last year. The Mets make a trade. But you never know. Baseball is crazy like that.
Yeah.
He's moving slow. But
Verlander is still pitching, and he's 40, 41, 42 years old now.
And I think 2 or 3 years removed from his Tommy John surgery too. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. It's insane. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he win Cy Young the year after that Tommy John?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you. On him.
And I know he won a Cy Young rather recently, but I don't know if it was after the Cy Young the Tommy John. But no, I think it's insane. It's insane. Some of these guys, like I said before, they're really aging well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But that's enough. That's enough baseball for today. Thank you, Kyle, for hopping on and discussing some baseball on the Fuego&Slugger podcast. We definitely would love to have you back again. I definitely want to discuss some Knicks with you. We definitely next time we will make a theme with the Knicks.
Dude, I would love to be back. This was a great time. I seriously,
yes, it was.
I enjoyed this.
And talk about your Giants. I don't want to relive some of those memories, but we could definitely
plenty of stuff to get into.
The NFL, yes, the NFL playoffs definitely going to be really interesting. who's gonna win. It's open right now. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, we'll definitely discuss some more. You'll definitely be back. And thank you, Kyle, for being on. It's crazy that this is really your first podcast ever.
Oh man, yeah.
You're natural, man. You're natural.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you take care, and we'll see each other again.
Absolutely. See ya.
Yep.
Appreciate you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and share it with someone who loves the game. Thanks for the support. Slugger out.